Welcome to the Top 5 TV. Earth is more than just a fuzzy blue and green ball floating in space. Our planet houses more than 7.5 billion people. There are a host of mysterious locations around the world, some extensively explored and explained by experts, others holding on to their mysteries. In this video we are going to check on some of the lesser talked about locations on Earth, all surrounded by fascinating stories and theories. Number 5. Their Zone of Silence. Also described as the Mexican Bermuda Triangle, their Zone of Silence, a desert in northern Mexico. It measures 50 kilometers across, but it has cemented its place as one of the most mysterious places on Earth. When people drive into the zone, radio signals stop working and compasses go haywire. In 1970, an Athena rocket launched from a US Air Force base in Green River, Utah, was meant to come down near White Sands in New Mexico. Something went drastically wrong and the rocket crashed 400 miles to the south in the Zone of Silence in the early hours of the morning. Some have claimed to have encountered aliens who ask for water in Spanish and then disappear into thin air. Number 4. The Saalfeld Fairy Grottos. In Germany, named the most colorful cave grottos in the world by the Guinness Book of World Records. The caves were once a mining pit called Jeremiah's Luck. After the mine was eventually closed, the remaining caves were transformed into a fairy tale world. They were largely forgotten, however, after the closure of the mine. It became popular again after its rediscovery in 1910. In 1913, a third chamber was discovered, and tours were offered to the public in 1914. These tours were halted when World War I broke out. In the decades that followed, millions of tourists have visited these grottos. Legend has it that during its mining days, some miners saw a fairy inside one of the caves. They approached the fairy and she disappeared. From this incident, the grottos are said to have earned their magical name. Number 3. The Seven-Colored Earth of Charmel. Mauritius is well visited because of its pristine beaches, wonderful culture, and fantastic tourist attractions. One of the most beloved attractions on this beautiful island is the Seven-Colored Earth of Charmel. This geological curiosity consists of a small, bare landscape that displays shades of purple, yellow, red, brown, green, blue, and violet, and is located inside a dense forest. It is known that the bedrock of the landscape was formed after a volcanic eruption, and that the colors are due to the formation of secondary iron oxides and hydroxides in the weathered basalt. When first gazing upon the Charmel attraction, it seems as though there are shadows that create the illusion of several different colors. However, once you go closer to the colored earth, you realize that the colors are real and that the shadows are the real illusion. What's more, even when you can mix the different colored sands together, it will always settle back into separate layers. Number 2. The New York Eternal Flame. The Eternal Flame Falls in Chestnut Ridge Park, New York, is not the only one in the world, but it is certainly the most unique. Legend has it that a Native American lit the flame hundreds of years ago and that the flame has been burning ever since. Technically, the flame has had to be relit several times when it is extinguished by the waterfall cascading past it. Hikers carry lighters with them for this very purpose. The flame burns because of a natural gas leak seeping through the rock of the small grotto it is located in. And while geologists are still puzzled as to how the eternal flame is continuously defying the laws of nature, seeing as how the rock beneath the flame is nowhere near the boiling temperature which is needed to release the natural gas, they have theorized that the gas may be coming from a source 1,300 feet below the surface. They also believe that this process may be the result of an undiscovered geologic process caused by the production of the natural gas within shale rock. Number 1. The Chocolate Hills. In the Philippines, as many as 1776 hills take on a golden brown color during the summer season and have been given the name Chocolate Hills. Often referred to as the eighth wonder of the world, the Chocolate Hills is one of a kind, even though there are similar mounds on the island Java in Indonesia as well. The Indonesian mounds have a less uniform appearance compared to the Philippines mounds. However, legend has it that a giant cried over love gone wrong and the hills sprung up where his tears fell. Another legend says that two giants engaged in their own personal war with one another and heaved boulders at one another for days on end. When they eventually buried the hatchet, the boulders remained, becoming the chocolate hills we know today. Geologists believe the hills were formed due to the erosion of limestones that had shifted above sea level and fractured because of tectonic processes. Some theorize that the hills may have been coral reefs that erupted from the water after a geologic shift